Hello and welcome to Create Astral. This is episode 28, and it's time that we started doing the rest of these little bits and bobs. The first thing to do is to get a Tesla coil. We have a Tesla coil from the moon. I think it's in one of these chests. In fact, it's literally right there. That was a really lucky guess. So we're going to take that, and that completes that objective. Now, next thing we need to do is we need to make some molten electrum. I assume to power the Tesla coil, we're going to need some connectors as well as some copper wire. It also looks like we have to electrify a bucket of dash. And to do that, I have this little thing filling up with some dash, though it's not at all full. We also were supposed to get a reward from doing that gold factory, which I have not actually seen yet, if we have a reward, that is. So hopefully we'll find one soon. I don't see any copper spools, so let's just make some. I think was it all the way around? Yeah, okay. So then it must have been like this. Cool. Let's put those away. And I'm just going to put in this last bit of dash so that it hopefully gives us a full bucket's worth. That's what I think this should do. I've also looked ahead and started building this thing. This thing is just a giant cobalt machine. We're actually going to grab a little bit more for the same reason, basically. So we can have a bucket of the stuff ready. And now we have our dash bucket. So let's head over to the electrical plant where I can make our electrum, hopefully. So our Tesla coil, I'm not really sure if it needs to be underneath something. So we're going to take this thing. Can we literally just do that? And then if we take some copper wire and connect it to there. Okay. This is slowly powering up. It looks like it requires an awful lot of electricity. But hopefully that's working. And I think... let's also just put it on top of something because that looks dumb. I didn't think we could plug it in from the side. I think to make molten electrum, we literally just put this near that. So let's, I guess let's try checking this on top. Wait, nope, that was not the right button. Okay. I like how I said I tried to spin. Where am I? Oh, okay. I like how it said I tried to swim in lava, even though I very much did not. That was a bunch of molten dash. Hopefully that's cleaned up, though. Yep, looks like it. So how do I actually use this thing, then? So obviously I don't right-click it. If I throw it at it, it just goes straight through. I'd kind of expect it, since it's a Tesla coil, to just zap this thing. But I'm not entirely sure. So I've tried a slightly different setup. I was looking at YouTube, as one does. I think maybe we need to put a depot under here, and then when we put this on there... Wow, that was like instantaneous. Okay, well, that worked, I guess. Do we check to see if this... Oh, yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, does this also burn? Of course it does. Either way, we have our molten electrum bucket, which is good. At some point, hopefully, we'll stop burning before I die. But while we're doing that, I get a ball of enchanting, I get some empty powder casings, which isn't super useful, and this is going to be the tricky thing. So we somehow have to turn this bucket into... probably ingots, or possibly casings. Probably ingots first. But how we do so, I'm not totally sure. I have an idea, which involves running over to our little smithing area, and I think maybe we can just pump it out in a block. So if we just do that, and then I think that should be a block. So if we pour this into here, hopefully that will solidify, and then we can break that down into ingots and the nuggets that we actually need. I think that worked. So we have a block of electrum. Can break that down into more things, and then good. Okay. So we're going to take this. We are going to go over to this new machine that I made. And I think we just put it into here. Now, let's check what else we need to make this navigational system. We need a redstone chip. We need a bunch of cobalt. We need this, and then we need to stamp it. We need to do that 30 times. As such, I'm going to take that off. And we have a couple more redstone chips. I think we only need one of these. So I'm only going to make one. But let's see if this works. So it's spouted. Incomplete navigational mechanism. Okay. And then this gets stamped. I should really speed this up, but that's okay. And then hopefully it should get launched back over to here. I've done this correctly. Unfortunately, it got stuck, which is not great for automating it, which is not super useful. So I guess we'll just babysit it while it does its thing. It needs to do this, I think, 30 times I saw. Yeah, it needs to do it a whole bunch of times. So I think what we'll do is we'll remove this thing for now. And I don't have enough empty space in here to pick things up, but we'll get it done. Well, I seem to have fixed the problem with the fluid ejector. Basically, it just ejects into there. That's high enough that it just drops straight back down. So the only other limiting factor is making sure this has enough stuff in it, which, looking at the rate that this is going through, it should be totally fine. So let's go and talk to Sir Doyle and see what sort of thing he has for us. Hello, Sir Doyle. So you have something for us from Sir Watts, I assume? It's on the shelf? Okay, I'll go check. Must be this. How do I get this off the shelf? Oh, biplane blueprint. That means we can actually build a biplane. We can go back here, and we can do this. Cool. That might be super useful. These supposedly are on the moon somewhere, but I have yet to find one. I might actually find the gyrodyne as well before we go to the thing. But let's see what we do with this. So first thing we could do is, with a bunch of black dye and an empty schematic, we can make another one. That's actually probably a good idea. Maybe we should do that first. I have some blue dye, I have some white dye. Let's stick these together. And then I need a piece of paper. And let's stick these two together. So we got that going, which is good. Then we needed a bunch of black dye. Now to make that, I think I had to crush... Yeah. Actually, what happens if I throw this in the crusher? So, with the coal, let's go throw it in the crushing machine. That should be the fastest way to do this, I think. Now, do we need that many? Probably not. But that's okay. We seem to use black dye for an awful lot of things. There we go. And let's make a copy of this. I think we had to mix them together. My mixer is now up here. So let's throw this in, let's throw this in, and then let's throw this in. Is that not? Oh no, it was a press, wasn't it? Let's do that. Press is down here, I think. Let's just check that that was actually correct. We need it in a basin, though. Okay. That's fine. Let's grab this. Do I have any basins in here? No. Let's do that. And let's swap out this thing for that, and now we can chuck all of this stuff in there. Smack. And now we got 2 biplane blueprints. I'll have to keep them all organized. Now, to use this, I think we have enough mechanical crafting component things to do this. However, these look a bit more complex. So propellers, those we can make just fine. Let's just check real quick. What's the progress on this thing? About halfway. So let's make some propellers. Do we have any... not steel. Iron sheets? No. Let's put this here. Let's put this here. Let's put these here. What else did I need? I needed some holes, which require iron rods and a lot of casings. How many casings do I have currently? I have 46. That may or may not be enough. I also need some more iron to turn into iron rods. I don't think I'll need more than that many. There's a bunch of copper rods in here. Don't know what I was using those for. Let's stick these in here. And what else do I need? I need large sails, which is just a bunch of windmill sails. That should be easy enough to do. So let's go shear some sheep. Shear some sheep. Yes. Okay, so I got some wool, I got some shears. Didn't get some shears, I guess. But I got the stuff to make a bunch of sails. Sails are never a bad thing, so I'm just going to turn all of this into sail. Perfect. Now, how many sails did we actually need? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these, so we need 60 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I can only do sacks of 8. Interesting. Let's put the other sails, and we'll put them in here. Let's check our thing. It's getting there. How many... Actually, this could tell us how many we have. We have 42. There's 64 in a stack, so that means it needs to go through, like, 6 more times. So it's almost there. In the meantime, this is done. These are done. We're definitely going to need more iron rods, I'm realizing. And then, how many of these iron holes do we need? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these. Maybe we have 9. Not quite. We're a few short. That is okay. We also needed 3 propellers. 1, 2, 3. And we need a seat, I know that much. I should have more wool in here, which I think is in here. Let's grab an oak slab. Let's make it purple. And then we go 1, we go 2, then we go 3. And what else did this thing require? We need an engine. Ooh, the engine is a lot more complex, and we're going to need to make a machine. We need to make a boiler first, which means we need a nozzle, which we can make. Let's get some wool. And then I think it was these. This. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Okay. That might have some use in the future. Then, to make this, we needed, let's do A. I think that should add to the top left, yes. we need a bunch of blaze burns. We actually need 2 of these boilers. So to make this, we need to mechanically craft rubber and then copper sheets. We're going to need 2 of those, if I was not mistaken. So let's actually grab another one of these. And we'll do that. And let's check our navigation systems. It's almost there. And then let's go ahead. And I only need 6 of these, so let's block off. I guess I don't want to block that one off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I don't actually have enough of these things. How do I make these again? That's 3 brass ingots. That should be easy enough. Let's go get a single brass nugget. Or brass ingot. Then we make those. That's not going to be done, is it? No, it has like 1 more cycle, I think. It has at most like 1 more cycle. But while we're doing that, let's do this. Oh, that only gives us 3. For some reason I thought it gave us 2 of each. Bum bum. And then we need like 2 more. So I guess we'll need 2 more brass ingots. But that should nearly be done. Let's grab that. Oh, it's still not done. How's this not done? Okay, well, that's fine. Let's do that. And then we do this, so we have 1 extra. And we have a nozzle that goes up here. And then we'll need some rubber and some copper sheets. Let's check our navigational system. That is done, though. So let's grab that. We've completed that quest, which is fantastic. But let's keep going on our little side quest here. I got some rubber. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this should start making engines for us. Like so. Good. And we're going to do it again. There we go. So we got 2 boilers. And let's check the quest book. We've done that, which means we can now build the rocket. How do we build the rocket? It tells us a lot about what to do with it. I guess we need to build a NASA workbench. How do we do this? Okay. So we got a little bit more to go with the building. But honestly, we're almost there. We just got to do that and then build the rocket, and we're good to go. So I was looking through the edit for this video and realized that we're already 18 minutes long, so I'm not going to keep pushing the biplane right now. But I do want to get to Mars next episode, so we're going to push on. We're going to take these things out. And to make our NASA workbench, I've actually gotten all the things we need. So this is going to need to go here. Mechanical arms go here. Oop. That's not what we want. How do we actually put the mechanical arms in here? We'll have to come back to that one in a sec. Navigation mechanism goes in there. Desk sheets 1, 2. Capacitors 1, 2. And we need just 1 block of desh here. I might need a couple hoppers in order to do this. Do I have any iron sheets left? Yes. I don't think I have any wood in there. So let's go find some wood for chests. Do I have any in here? Not that I can use. I got some here. just make up a few chests. We'll just make 5 of them because why not? And then 2 hoppers, and I think that's all that we need in order to put these. I do remember seeing this at some point, that this is kind of a pain. I just hope that I did this right. So we put one there, we put one there, put one arm in here, we put one arm in here, and that seems to be working. So I think we can remove these. And that gives us our NASA workbench. And we get the thing, we got the goal, we got the name of the whole series. Is it? No, it's not. It's Create Astral. And then let's put it right here. Cool. And I've gone ahead and completed the rest of the stuff that we need to make the rocket. Really, it was just making some more red battery cells, a dash engine, which isn't really that hard to make, and then some dash tanks, which also are not hard to make. So hopefully you don't feel that you've missed anything out there, since you really haven't. So engine goes there. Ooh, it's doing stuff. Pins go there. This goes up at the top. Battery cell, dash tanks, and wow, that was Oi! Well, that's not the sound I was expecting. But we have our dash rocket. We're carrying it around like a lunatic. I guess we fit inside of this technically. But I guess this is where we should. Oh, that's a giant exclamation mark. This is, I guess, where we check the thing. So, crouch and right-click to open its UI. From there, biofuel can be deposited. You can store up to 3 buckets. That said, it's probably getting us to keep some spare. Being stranded is about the worst thing that can happen to you. Right-click to enter the rocket. After holding space for a while, you'll launch off and gain access to the planetary selection system. You can't explore every planet just yet, but you'll still have some new options. After seeing a location, you'll descend to the planet on the lander. Space will decelerate it. Make sure you don't hit the ground too fast. The lander will explode, and you'll be left with no way home. The truly paranoid can take 2 rockets. That's not me. F5 can help you with the landing process. Okay. So, we are just about ready to go then. I am going to go make some final preparations, make sure we got our spacesuit. And then I think we'll launch off the top of the factory. But I will be back in a sec. Alright, so I think we now have everything that we might need, I hope. The first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put the rocket onto the launch pad, like so. Let's just check the quest book again. Let's see what it says. Right-click to enter the rocket. Okay, we know that. We know that. Crouch and right-click to open its UI. Okay, so crouch and right-click, and that's, I'm guessing, how you load in the biofuel. We do want to take a launch pad with us so we can actually get home. That was weird. That shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have gone through the floor like that. Sure. Let's get back up there, I guess. Okay, let's try this again. We right-click. Shift right-click. We put... Let's just see how much one fuel cell does before I put in any more. Okay, so each one is 1 bucket, basically. So I can put these back in here. We'll keep the rest of the fuel handy. And I think that's it. I think it's time to go to Mars. We'll be back, of course. But next episode, we'll be in Mars. Let's go ahead and take off. Let's just actually double check one more time. That way don't explode. Right-click to enter the rocket. Hold space for a while and you launch off. Then we need to hold space to slow down. We don't want to end up like the Jaffa program, which famously crashed into the moon, though we are going to Mars. So, I guess it's farewell to this planet. There we go, there's me. And away we go. lovely base behind.